Hi everybody, it's Double B Bully Boudreaux, back with another installment of WGS-TV, right here on the WGS YouTube channel, with a great Saints reaction video. I know last week I didn't put up one for the Bears game. I do apologize for that, but I do have one for today's game. The Saints defeating the Houston Texans by a score of 40-33. Holy crap, what a nerve-wracking game. Because pretty much throughout the first half, mainly in the first quarter, the Texans kind of dominated the Saints. You know, the Saints really never got off to a good start in the first half. They really picked it up in the second half, and I believe in the fourth quarter alone, the Saints scored 23 points. 23 points. And Mark Ingram had his first career touchdown in the NFL. And it couldn't have come at a greater time, guys. So, let's go ahead and read off some stats for the Saints, guys, as I have them here for today's game. Drew Brees was 31 of 44, 370 yards, with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. The first 2 interceptions of the season for Drew Brees. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Rushing, Mark Ingram is the head guy with 9 rushes for 38 yards and a touchdown. We also had Darren Sproles with 2 rushes for 35 yards with a touchdown. Pierre Thomas had 7 rushes for 28 yards. And Drew Brees, apparently, they're calling it on here for rushes for negative 1 yards. Weird. Receiving, we got to go with the boy. Got to go with Graham. He's the top guy. 4 receptions, 100 yards, with a touchdown. Man, I'll tell you what. My boy Graham, they're going to start double and triple covering this guy later on in the season, because if they don't, he's just going to explode all of them. These numbers he's been putting up as of late is pretty much evidence of that. Lance Moore, 9 receptions for 88 yards with a touchdown. Devery Henderson had 3 for 62. Robert Meacham, 5 receptions, 51 yards with a touchdown. And we had Darren Sproles had 6 receptions for 50 yards. Pierre Thomas had 1 for 15. We also had Dave Thomas 1 for 7 yards. And Mark Ingram had 2 receptions, but they had -3 yards on it. John Casey, good to see him still perfect so far this season. He was 1 field goal by him. Punting, Morstead, always on the ball. Thomas Morstead, 3 punts, averaging 47.7 yards, with his longest being 4. Kickoff returns. Sproles, our boy Sproles, 4 of them, he averaged 25 yards, with his longest being 33. Punt returns, there was only 1 punt, and it happened in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you heard me right. The Saints only got the Texans to punt 1 time, and didn't get into, and that happened in the fourth quarter. Kind of tells you how this game went. Defensively, Jolar Dunbar, total of 10 tackles, 4 assisted. Roman Harper had 5 solo tackles, 2 assists and 2 assists. Let's go down here where all these stats are. Malcolm Jenkins had 4 tackles with 1 assisted. Will Smith, good to have him back. Good to have him back in the defensive huddle. Will Smith. By the way, I want to throw a big shout out to Jolar Dunbar, really stepping up to the plate. Jonathan Vilma was out in this game, and Jonathan Vilma, you know, he's kind of like the quarterback. That's what I heard Bobby Hebert say on the point after. That Jonathan Vilma is kind of like the quarterback of the defense. You know, he's kind of the leader of the defense, and with him to be out, I thought would be a crushing blow, but Jolar Dunbar stepped up to the plate. A lot of the other guys are really good too. Give them a quick shout out. Cedric Ellis, 2 tackles, 2 assisted. Javari Greer, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Patrick Robertson, 3 tackles, 1 assisted. So numbers from all these guys here. Team by team stats. Here we go. For the Saints, they had a total of 27 first downs, 5. I can't talk right now. Excuse me. 27 first downs for the Saints, 5 by rushing, 20 by passing, none by penalty. For the Texans, they had 21 first downs, 4 by rushing, 17 by passing. Third down efficiency for the Saints, they were 8 of 13, which netted them 61%, so they're above 50%. That's good. For the Texans, they were 6 of 14 on third down efficiency for 42%. And of course, the Saints never went for it on fourth down. Texans went for it, did not make it. Total net yards for the Saints, 454 to the Texans, 473. Net yards rushing, the Saints averaged right at the century mark, right at 100, while the Texans netted 109 yards. Net yards passing, Saints had 354 to the Texans 364. Get here. Penalties. Saints were penalized 4 times, 26 for 26 yards, while the Texans were penalized 7 times for 56 yards. Let me go to red zone efficiency because in the last video I made a big deal about red zone efficiency. I think in the Packers game, the Saints were not very efficient in the red zone in that game and in goal to go, but today's game was a huge difference. Red zone efficiency for the Saints, they were 3 for 5, which netted them 60%, while the Texans were 1 of 5. Because you see here in the game, there were several times, like those 4, the red zone efficiency, the Texans were in the red zone 4 times, and they could not punch it in. The Saints defense stiffened every time the Texans were in the red zone, forcing them to go for the field goals, which they were perfect, 4 for 4. Time of possession, the Saints have 29 minutes with 54 seconds, with the Texans 30 minutes and 6 seconds. Now, you would figure with the turnover difference being what it is, the Saints, the Drew Brees had intercepted twice, and I believe the Saints intercepted them once with 1. But normally when the team has more turnovers than the other, they tend to lose. Not today. And I will tell you this, guys and gals, it was a huge, I'm talking about nail-biter game. I mean, wow. One thing I want to make mention of, I did see Matt Schaub, quarterback to Houston Texans. I didn't see any reports yet. It did look like he might have injured his neck just a little bit. I'm not sure, because he went down on 1 sack and he came up. He was holding his head and his neck area as always sign of something very serious. They didn't cart him off or anything like that, but he could have tweaked something, he could have hurt something, which could cause him to be out. Now, me, guys, I'm a huge Saints fan. I always love it when the Saints win, but I don't want to see anybody get seriously hurt. I mean, it's a sport. We're not out for blood. It's a sport. Professional sport. I don't like to see people getting hurt really bad. It doesn't matter if it's a Saints player or not. I don't like to see that happen. And so I just want to, I just hope Matt Schaub's going to be okay, because it did look kind of serious. So, but in the end, let me just say this. Like I said, it was a nail biter. This game was a huge nail biter. At one point, the Saints took the lead in the fourth quarter. Then they lost it, and they were down by a point. And let me just say this: the last 2 touchdowns the Saints scored, not only did they get them, but they, on both occasions, went for the 2-point conversion and made it both times. Both times, guys. Wow. The Saints of coming to play. And they look really good the past 2 weeks. Last week, and I wish I would have put up a video talking about it last week, but it wasn't a good week. I was way too busy. This week, however, I do have the time to put up a Saints reaction video, and I'm really glad to say the Saints are 2-1 in the NFC South, and next week they start, I believe they said, a 3-game road stint where they're on the road. And next week they go to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. That's going to be a chore, from what I've heard. That's going to be a chore in itself, because the Jaguars are a good team. But it's going to be an interesting game. So, with that being said, again, final score for the Saints game: New Orleans Saints 40, Houston Texans 33. Sorry, Jordan, your Texans lost. So, with that being said, also don't forget, I forgot my traditional ending to my videos now. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/TheWrestleGamer. Don't forget to check out our main website, www.TheWrestleGamerShow.com. We got forums. You can see all my videos on there, as well as here on YouTube. And don't forget, on YouTube, when I reach 400 subscribers, I will put up a shout-outs video. And also, don't forget to subscribe. So, with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux. Thank you very much for watching.